There's trouble brewing in the jungle. We've got the RV revved up. The bishops are having trouble with our Amazon Synod, and we've got a solution for them. They'll love it, and so will you. Hop aboard. Let's get going.
From a vehicle storage lot in an undisclosed location, here's another episode of The Traditional Roman Catholic.
Okay. Trouble down in the jungle. There aren't enough priests in the Amazon basin. That's what we're hearing. So, the bishops are coming up with an idea. It's called the Amazon Synod. And they're going to try and come up with some solutions to solve this problem of not enough priests in the Amazon and not enough people getting ministered to for the Catholic faith. They've developed a working document. It's called the Instrumentum Laboris. And they've come up with all sorts of great and innovative ideas there, because the priest shortage is just the tip of the iceberg, if you want to consider icebergs and the Amazon jungle in the same sentence. Anyway, lots of problems they have to solve, and here's one they may not have thought of because it's a really, really old school idea. So we're going to put the word up here because it's one a lot of you have not seen in the last few years. We think the bishops should send missionaries. Let's say the word again with me, missionaries. So the idea is we send missionaries, they evangelize, here's the bad word, they proselytize, they catechize, and they baptize. And apparently this has been done in the past, prior to Vatican II. Yeah. There was this guy, I wrote his name down, Francis Xavier. Francis, there, we're off to a good start already. He lived in the 1500s, so, okay, I know that was pre-Vatican II, and I know most of the stuff the church did prior to Vatican II, you have to take with a grain of salt. For instance, they didn't even have the words to the Our Father right prior to Vatican II, and they didn't know that they were supposed to hold hands, so they didn't get everything right in those days. But let's suspend that for a second. Keep your grain of salt handy, but they did send missionaries, and one of them was this guy, Francis Xavier. So he went off to the Far East to meet people where they were, because that's where people were in the Far East that needed to be evangelized, in places like India and China and Japan. And he worked among them, he preached to them, and he converted them. He won about 1 million souls, give or take. So he must have been doing something right. Don't know what the tactics, techniques, and procedures were that he used, but I bet that they were written down someplace. And maybe he even wrote some stuff down. Who knows? But I bet we could study what he did and maybe apply those same tactics, techniques, and procedures today. So let's run some numbers real quick here. In the world, there are about 2,200, more actually, but we'll round it down to 2,200 dioceses. And of those, are about 645 of them are archdioceses, so, big organizations. And out of that number, 195 dioceses are located in the U.S. So let's say out of these 2,200 dioceses, that 10% of them were able to cough up one person to be a, again, air quotes, missionary. So they might be priests, they might be lay people, they might be a brother or a sister. Anyway, 10%, right off the bat, you've got 200 people available for missionary work. And you rotate them every few years. And so the other dioceses support this effort monetarily and with logistics and with supplies. So, for instance, one of the big problems they're worried about is that they're going to have to start making hosts out of some kind of native root, out of yucca, because you can't get the wheat-based hosts that the rest of the world uses in there. So, along with probably other supplies. Again, logistics. How about helicopters? Helicopters are expensive, but they work really well in places like an inaccessible jungle, okay? So an average operating cost for a helicopter in the U.S. is around 40 to 50 grand a year, and that's, I'm sure it's going to cost a lot more out there, and the helicopter itself may cost upwards of $1 million, but you can get them used for considerably less than that. But let's say that the average operating cost of a helicopter in the Amazon in support of a missionary effort is $250,000 a year. Okay, could the Americans foot the bill? 250 grand divided by 195 dioceses, that works out to about $1,282 per diocese. I bet you during the annual Bishop's Appeal, if we actually asked for that money to fund missionary efforts, okay, missionary, $1,200, I bet you'd get that in a heartbeat, and you could keep these missionaries supplied. So there's some ideas for you. So, in fact, do you even need the Amazon Synod? It's a lot of guys getting together to talk about a lot of stuff. I bet you they could do away with that and just have a planning conference. In fact, if we got some really smart people together from the various dioceses and archdioceses and figured out how we were going to go about this missionary effort of getting missionary boots on the ground, and not always boots. If you send discalced Carmelites, that would be bare feet on the ground, and they're certainly welcome to participate, though in the jungle they might want to wear just a little something, just saying. So we can get these people on the ground doing those things, evangelize, proselytize, catechize, and baptize, and we could start winning souls for Christ before the end of the year. So I know they've got some other ideas that they're very excited about, but wouldn't it be great if the bishops at least knew about this concept of missionaries? In fact, it would be great if all the readers out here would write your bishop, readers, well, maybe you're reading, maybe you're viewers, and, there's upwards of 50 of you out here watching this, and maybe there'll be more, who knows. But write your bishops, suggest to them just this old school approach, and again, grain of salt, because it was a pre-Vatican II approach, but they must have done something right. Let's try that. Maybe that would be a better approach. Anyway, so there you have it. Okay. Am I actually taking this RV down to the Amazon? No. So was that a little bit of a teaser at the front of the video? Yeah. The thing would get stuck really quick. So the RV's not going, but the good Lord willing, maybe we can get some missionaries down there. See ya. Hi. Did you like the episode? If so, consider subscribing. Is there something you didn't like about it? Leave us a comment. And if there's something you liked about it, leave us a comment. We don't get many, so if you do, we'll definitely get back to you and answer. Thanks.